Good morning. Welcome to Radio Friends on Friday, January the 8th, 2021. Are you used to saying 2021 yet? Our next guest, Doering, All Paws Medical and Behavioral Center in Holt Summit, is here to talk today a little bit about getting our pets acclimated to the cold weather. Are there special things that we need to do and take precaution? Good to see you again, Mar. And Connor.
Thank you.
Over there.
Yes, Connor's so happy.
Yeah,
here.
Connor was a little rescue dog. For people who may not have seen that segment when Connor, the first time he was here, Connor came from where?
He came actually from a puppy mill, and he was their puppy mill dog for 8 years. Didn't know much about people, didn't even like other doggies, and he was going to move into our family of 8 doggies and many cats. And he has just adjusted beautifully. He loves people now. He kind of loves other animals. He thinks he should still be the top cheese, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But he's amazing, and we're so blessed to have him. So we got him when he was 8 years old.
He was 8 years old, and he was anything but adjusted to other animals and people.
Right.
So that goes to show that no matter what age you get a dog or a cat, even if they're not adjusted to people and to other animals, with patience and with love and with persistence and with love and persistence and love.
Yes.
You got to throw that lot of that
Yes.
love in
and
there.
Patience.
And
Patience helps
right.
too. Yes.
It all will work out
Yes.
in the end.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. You can't push them too fast. You just have to wait till they're ready to move forward a little bit. So that's the patience part.
Exactly.
But just showing them that you care and that there's another way that they can go. And oh my gosh, really, when I get a new doggie, usually they pull up at the clinic, and I work with them for just a few minutes just to walk them a little bit so that they can see that I can protect them and lead them, and they can check out their surroundings, and then teach him just a few little bitty commands because he knew nothing, and then brought him into the clinic. He met his 8 brothers and sisters, and we were pretty much good to go.
Good, good. So what are some of the things that we need to keep in mind with the cold weather and when it's really, really cold?
Yes. Well, my feeling is if it's too cold for us, it's too cold for them. So be careful. But when it comes to an inside animal, you want to make sure you think about some things, because when you've got the dry heat going, then the air gets dry. And just like us people, we have problems with our skin. Dogs have problems with, and cats, with their coat, and they can get dry skin, which can lead to some problems. So if you have a humidifier, that helps. Or if you can, it helps sometimes to even brush opposite the way the coat grows to work up the oils in the coat. Sometimes they need a little supplement. Your veterinarian can help you with that. You want to be a little careful that you're not giving too many baths, because the baths can dry out the skin. But again, check with your veterinarian, because if you need to give a lot of baths, there are some medicated shampoos that will work.
Right.
The other thing is, if you're walking them, and I recommend, I bundle up. I do not like the cold, and I bundle up big time so that I can walk my dog so I can exercise them.
Okay, that was a question. What about dogs who are indoor dogs, and then you go outside in the really cold weather to
Right.
play and to get their exercise? You're with them. I always feel, here I'm putting my heavy coat on. Does a dog need to have a coat?
Sometimes they do. Now, you don't want to have their hair clipped too much, certainly not down to the skin. You want them to have that insulation if they have thick hair. But if they don't, yes, get them a sweater or a jacket, and make sure, even if it's a guy like Connor, which sometimes he'll have longer hair, we give him a good clipping for the show. But he has a thick coat, but sometimes I do put a little jacket on him, and some of his brothers and sisters
What
as well.
about big dogs?
Even big dogs, if they don't have a thick coat. If they have a thick coat, they're probably okay, but you don't want to let them go out for too long, and you want to take your time getting them used to it. So you don't all of a sudden go out and then they're playing for hours or exercising and walking for hours. Also, this is a big one. You want to make sure that even with the long-haired dogs, that you're not cutting their coat back all the way. Cut it down just a little bit so they don't get snow that gets tangled in their hair. And watch these feet, because you want to trim around the feet so that they do not get hair that gets the ice balls stuck between the pads or between the toes. That can be very painful, even cut their feet.
Right, it can cause blood.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it can injure their pads. So you want to make sure that you're very careful to do a little trimming around there. And when they come inside, dry them off very, very well and remove the ice and the snow between their pads and between their toes so they don't have any problem.
Now, what if you're walking if you live in the city, and you're walking on the sidewalk with your dog, and they've thrown salt?
That's a wonderful point. Yes.
You want to make sure when you come in. What I would do if we're walking on the road, because I live out in the country, and if we're walking on our road, Route F, with my dog, and they put salt, I would immediately come in and put him in the bathtub and wash it off with warm water.
Absolutely perfect, because that is so irritating. It can burn their pads and burn their feet. Plus, you do not want them to reach down and sniff at it and lick, because some of that can be toxic to them, and at least hurt their digestive tract very much. So yes, you want to clean them up very well. I would take a towel with you. Just put a towel in your coat pocket so that if they get something and you really think there's a problem, that you're drying it off right away and removing it or wiping it away from their mouth. The other thing is, if you see a little spill of antifreeze, keep your dog, cat very far away from that. That's delicious. If they get even a drop or they lick a drop off of their feet, it can be life-threatening and kill them, destroy their kidneys. So you want to be very, very careful to move away from that if you see it.
The antifreeze, yeah.
The antifreeze.
What about, the windshield wiper cleaners that we have in the car? That has antifreeze in it, too.
That's a very good point. It certainly does.
So if you're using that on your car, make sure that if some of it falls on the ground or on the driveway, that your dog or cat is not walking in
Wonderful points. And they do make some of that material, including antifreeze itself, that is non-toxic to pets and children. So if you can get that kind for your own use, that's wonderful. If you can't find it, because it is a little tough to find, then absolutely be very, very careful.
Okay.
Those are very important points.
Mar, thank you so much for coming by. And Connor, thank you. He looks so happy over there with his little green holiday neckerchief on there. For more information, you can contact Mara at 573-896-4040, All Paws Medical and Behavioral Center.
Thank you so much.
Happy New Year to you.
Thank you. You have a happy, healthy New Year, too.
Bye-bye.